Okay, this is Tony Cataldo, and this is the Desi-Drvr who, what, when, where, and why. We're having people tell their stories about how alcohol has affected their life. Their story can reach down and educate young drivers, young people that don't have a clue about what is going on, where you want to watch out for what you're doing. You be careful. They don't have a clue, so they get into trouble, and they don't need these life-changing experiences. There's too many people that have already had these experiences, and they don't need to repeat them. That's just something that I believe. So, what is your name?
My name's Cassidy.
Cassidy. Okay. And what happened, Cassidy?
Well,
How did alcohol affect your life, buddy?
you know, I had a really good job at the time. I decided to drink and drive. I thought it was cool. I had a bunch of people with me. We got to drinking. We were in Portland, Oregon, uh, and I had a buddy come out from Redmond, Oregon. I don't see him very often. Um, I was going through a lot of stuff. My son was born premature, and there's a big hospital in Portland called OSU. And I was actually going for a run because I'd been there for like 4 weeks and really stressed out. Kind of a weird scenario. My buddy called me. He says, "Hey, I'm in Portland," and he wanted to grab a drink. So next thing I know, we're meeting up downtown Portland. Um, kind of needed to grab a drink. Uh, went downtown Portland, grabbed a drink. Next thing I knew, um, he had some people showing up, and they wanted to go across the river to Vancouver. So we all jumped in the rig together. Initially, he was going to drive, but he was drinking a lot. We pretty much had this bar to ourselves, and he knew the guy, so he just kept bringing drinks. And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I got to get home tonight. I can't." End up drinking another one. Next thing I know, we're pretty much down in a whole bottle. Um, I don't even know what it was, but
Wow.
we got really drunk. He says, "Yeah, man, I'll drive." I said, "No, it's okay. I got my car right here. We don't have to walk over there." It was more like it was easier to
Yeah.
drive or whatever. So
Convenient. Yeah.
yeah, and at this point, I don't really remember a whole lot. I just remember we all loaded up in the car, um, and decided to get on the freeway and head across the river into Washington. So what I did was we all got in the car, and I thought that I was merging on the freeway. This is how drunk I was. I thought I was merging on the freeway, um, but instead it was this road called Glass Plant Road, and it was right beside the freeway, and it was a gravel road. I thought because there was construction going on down there that somehow this road was going to merge onto the freeway. So I got up speed. I was doing like 65 miles per hour.
Oh my God.
Um, yeah,
On a dead
at
end
a
road.
dead end road, and this little Ford Focus I just got. Nice car. I just traded my 4Runner for this Ford Focus. Only had it like a week. Anyways, um, I'm getting it. I'm cruising. I'm doing about 60, 65, 70, right around there. And I hit this like pothole kind of deal. And my buddy's like, "Hey, hold on, turn down the music," because we were listening to music. We had people in the car. Um,
Oh my God.
yeah, there was four of us in the car,
Oh.
and I hit this pothole. And he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Yo, you think we should pull over and maybe see if you like punctured the oil pan?" And I was like, "Nah, it's probably okay." So I just keep going, and I get to a point where, it's dark, it's nighttime, and you can only see so far in front of you. And the next thing I see is like this huge, like 10,000 gallon, like steel tank.
Oh my God.
And there's like these two steel poles. And there's literally just enough room. There's like a little slope, like where it used to be a dead end, but you could pull in there before there was two fences. Well, they put up two fences, and then there was that giant tank to the right, and there was two steel beams to the left. And somehow I just barely made it through between those two, went through two fences, and hit this like 10-foot hill, and launched my car 45 feet, um, like way out there,
Wow.
right next to the freeway. We ended up, I mean, I got knocked out. We all pretty much, I think, got knocked out because when I woke up, I was sideways.
Yeah.
And, you know, the car's smoking. The first thing I thought was, holy shit, what just happened? You know, sorry, excuse my language, but I didn't know what happened. At first, I just knew, like, you know, something bad really happened. So I come to, and I instantly look over, and there's two girls with us. One of the girls was up front driving passenger with me, and she was okay. And then there was a girl in the back. She was okay. And then my buddy Lingo came over from Redmond. He wasn't in the back, and he doesn't know how he got out, but he was actually in Afghanistan in a roadside bombing, and it affected like his muscles in his back. So, anyways, long story short, he got out of the car. Somehow he either flew out or he got out, and he just still doesn't know to this day how he got out of the car.
Yeah.
But when we came to, he was jumping onto the car to help us get out of the car, pulled down the passenger window, pulled the girls out. We all got out, got away from the vehicle. First thing that happens when I get out, there's traffic right on I-5 there. Stopped. The whole freeway pretty much stopped, and was wondering, like, holy smokes, what just happened? So they're all stopped. The guy actually gets out of his car, and he's over there, he's calling 911. Next thing I know, there's fire trucks, ambulance, police, everybody there. And got these girls with us that I didn't even know them at the time. They just really came out to hang out. And my buddy Lingo, when he was in that roadside bombing, it affected his back. And so he's pretty much like, my back's tightening up. I can't really move. I'm just going to lay here. I think I'm fine. But they strapped him down to a gurney with the head strap and the whole thing.
Right. Didn't know if his neck was broken.
Yeah. We don't really need to go into detail about, like, we had a little confrontation with the police officers because the police, he's highly ranked in the military.
Yeah.
And they kind of thought that he was driving. And so they were blaming him for the wreck. And I told them over and over, I'm the driver. I've been drinking. I didn't try and hide it because clearly it wasn't going to happen. Like, we were all intoxicated.
Yeah. I call it FPR, full personal responsibility. If you take responsibility, you're going to be way better off.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, you know,
So when was this, buddy?
This was back in 2015.
Okay, and where was this?
I was in Portland, next to IKEA.
Portland, Oregon, okay.
Yeah, Portland, Oregon.
And why would you say that it happened?
It happened because, you know, we just weren't, I guess we thought it was okay to drive. It wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
We're lucky that we didn't kill one of those girls or my buddy or one of us, you know. We're lucky to be walking and lucky to be breathing, because a lot of times when you decide to drink and drive, it doesn't end up that way. You end up,
Well,
dead.
you're impairing yourself from reality, and when you impair yourself from reality, it's like waiting for an accident to happen. And so, what do you have advice for young people about the starting alcohol, drinking alcohol? You know what I mean? What do you think about? Give us some advice. Give them some advice about what do you think they should do about alcohol.
I'd just say don't touch it. I mean, if you want to, really, the only reason I believe people drink to start out with is because, it's socially acceptable. People are drinking and you want to be part of the crowd. There's a lot of other crowds you can join. I mean, there's a lot of other things that you can do besides getting drunk with your friends, because a lot of the times it's like a 50-50 gamble. Besides the car thing and driving, there's a lot of other things that can happen, when you put yourself in that scene.
Well, not only can you hurt your life and you, but you can also hurt other people.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And affect them for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
And your family
Yeah.
can be affected by what happens with you. You know, we have 3 kids and 4 grandkids, but every time we hear a story, it's just we cringe because not that bad things are happening. Our kids don't drink and that kind of stuff because they've been designated driver and they learned about that kind of stuff. But it's just you're still connected to your kids. You still live whatever they live, and and you just hope that they don't start bad habits because it's going to be a nightmare. And there's too many stories of people that have already experienced all the bad stuff. Why would you even want to go there? And that's what we're trying to do. We're having young drivers, young people learn about the effects of alcohol through the stories of other people. And I really appreciate your time. You're young, and I hope you can reach some young people, and then say, it's not a party, and don't even ruin your life. Don't even start. Don't even go there. You want to test your limits. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't even do it, because you can. There's plenty of stories about how other people ruined their lives.
Yeah.
Or ruined other people's lives.
And that's a big part of it. Is a lot of people don't want to take responsibility for their actions. They do something and then they want to blame somebody else. Like I was telling you earlier, I had to pay for what had happened. Lost my license for a year. Went to jail. And I own that because I deserve that. At the end of the day, I deserve to go to jail. Really, the punishment's pretty minute compared to what could have happened. If I were to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah. People are creatures of habit.
Yep.
And what habits are you going to start in your life to have a good life, not a bad life?
Yeah.
If that's a habit that's not recommended, don't even go there.
Yep.
Learn from the footsteps of others and learn and just be miles ahead of a lot of us. Because right now it's a repeat cycle. If you don't get education about what's going on or what's the reality of drinking, guess what? History has a chance to repeat itself over and over. And I'm 60 years old. I'm done with it. I'm so done with hearing the stories of how other people did this, and they're sweet people, they're nice people, and they got to live with it the rest of their life.
Yep.
I do appreciate you, buddy, and you're awesome. And if you hear of anybody else needs to be interviewed, let me know. And I appreciate it. We'll talk to you again. Thank you.
Will do. Thank you.